Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Geek Channel with another video, and this is episode 3 of the Criterion Corner series. And I decided to do something really fun and different and jump away from reviews. I decided, when I watched Nathan Hale video of his top 10 Criterion first time watches, and I thought it was a cool idea, a really good idea. I never thought of that idea. Let alone 2020, there were a lot of Criterion films that was my first time watches. I decided to make my own top 10 of Criterion first time watches because there were a lot of first time watches, and because of the whole pandemic going on, Criterion was allowed me to watch films that are my very first time watches that I never thought I'll be seeing, let alone some obscure films that I never thought I'll be watching, let alone it's released by Criterion that helped me get into the film that I'd never seen for the very first time and experiencing the film for the very first time. Some of my first time directors' filmography that I've seen in the list. I hope I will continue the same in the year 2021, where I watch Criterion releases that will be my first time watches that I've not seen, that are still sealed, that I'm planning to watch this year, hopefully, if I get a chance to watch them for the very first time, because I will still have a lot of films on my Blu collection that are still sealed that I've never seen before. Very similar to the Criterion, because I still have some of it are still sealed. So, yeah. So this is my opinion, and let's get right into it. These are the honorable mentions that did not make the cut in my top 10, but it is phenomenal films nonetheless. War of the Worlds, the original. Perte Le Fou, directed by Jean-Luc Godard. Poor Correspondent, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. And Bamboozled, directed by Spike Lee. Night of the Living Dead. This is directed by George A. Romero. This is my very first George A. Romero film I've ever seen. After watching this one, I went straight watching Creepshow, and I love that one. And I watched Day of the Dead. Sadly, I did not watch Dawn of the Dead because the Blu-ray in the United States out of print, and I couldn't afford getting the Indicator release. I believe Second Sight Blu-ray release. I did not get that because it's expensive. So this is my first time watch for his filmography, and I love this film so much. The atmosphere, the vibe, the tone, and the story is so intense and so isolated that it gives you a sense of claustrophobic, that you're stuck in the one location scenario where you're surrounded by zombies, and how you're going to figure out how you're going to survive. And you got a main lead who happened to be African American, with something bold and risk and that never done before in that time period that this film came out, where you got a main lead who happened to be an African American actor, which I think is awesome to see and a very refreshing idea as well. And I love the characters in the movie. The setting that take place in is so intense, and you're glued to the screen to know what's going to happen next, and after that, and the chaos that goes in. I love it, especially the ending of the film that took me by surprise. I did not expect to go a route I did not expect to go, and I love that about it, because usually films, you go, oh, I expect that ending, okay, but this film, I did not expect the ending whatsoever, and that is lovely because I love that. I love the fact that the director or writer anything do something different with the ending, and this is the film that does that. Kuneko. This is a film directed by Kaneto Shindo. This is also my first time watching one of his filmography as well. I would love to get more of his film as well, and to watch them for the very first time. This is a great jumping on point what I've heard. Because I heard of this title before going, when I started collecting Criterion for the very first time, and that cover always intrigued me. And I watched this on the month of October. And that was my last film I watched in the month of October, in Halloween Day. And it was my last thing to watch, and I loved it. Oh my god, I'm so glad I saw this in the month of October, because the vibe, the tone, the atmosphere is just perfect. It was like a chilly day in Halloween Day. I was like, I gotta put this on and watch it for the very first time and sit down, and just, I was invested to the story. It's a slow burn, but a good kind of slow burn film that's setting up something pretty crazy that's going to happen. And the imagery, the cinematography, the music is very important in this. they gave you the sense of eerie and the haunting sense of feel that you just got chills every time when you hear the music, and I love it. I love it so much. The music is so wonderful in this, and also the execution, the story is all well, just phenomenal. I just love it. I don't care. Some people want to hear say it's boring, but for me it's not, because I was invested to the story and I was hooked by the beginning of the movie. When you see this group of army raped the mother and the daughter, and they became a ghost. It's a ghost story, and it's a ghost about hunting the people who done to them, to the mother and daughter, and I love it so much because it's kind of a revenge story, but yet it's a ghost story as well, and I just love every second of this movie, and just looks beautiful in a beautiful way as well. I just love this one, and just I'm so glad I blind by this to watch it for the first time, and this is a black cat story as well. It's a very eerie, haunting, beautiful film. I love it so much. It's a revenge story, it's a ghost story as well, and I love every second of this movie. Umberto Diaz is the film directed by Vittorio De Sica. This is my second film that I've seen from him, from his filmography, and I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this one. The main reason I love this one because you deeply care about the main character, the elder man in the cover in this film. We've seen him going through a lot of stuff. He's getting older. He's getting you know he's losing something that he didn't want to do. It's a beautiful story, but yet it's a heartbreaking story, and you feel for the main character. You feel sympathy for him, and you just want to hug him. You just want to hug him in the end of the day. And I love this movie, and you see the great relationship between him and the dog. It's so beautiful, yet so heartbreaking when unexpected. I did not expect to go the ending. Just blew me away. This film blew me away. I was hooked to the beginning. Never a dull moment. Just following him the entire runtime, and never a dull moment. You just feel for the main character. That's all I can say, and without spoiling anything. And it's a wonderful story that kept you in and invested to the main character, and that's what the film does. And you just wanted the audience to care about the main character. That's what the film does. And the struggles of ups and downs, and just beautiful film, but yet heartbreaking. This is a wonderful, wonderful film. And the performance by the main character, I forgot his name, Umberto. Just a phenomenal performance from him. You believe in him. You believe him as a different character, that you just rooting for him for happiness. And that's what this film get me and impacted me for a lot of ways. That I do have a grandmother. I still do have my great grandparents still alive to this day, and just want to take care of them. Just to feel everything will be okay. And that's what this film is. You're hoping for this main character to feel okay, to feel happiness. You want to hug him in the end of the day. For real, like after the finish watching the movie, I just want to hug him. I really do. I just want to hug him because all the struggles that he's been gone through, it's just it get to him, and it's just very impactful way, in a very good way, and just phenomenal film. Matter of Life and Death. This is my very first time watching from a director duo named Powell and Pressburger. I've always wanted to see their filmography, especially the Red Shoes, which I have it, but still sealed. That was originally going to be my first time watch. Then I decided to buy this because the story and sounds so interesting and intrigued me as well. And I watched it for the very first time in the month of December, and I love it. The main reason I love it is because this is a romantic story, but not just a typical romantic story. This is about this man who has decided to sacrifice himself. He was in the Air Force Army, I believe. He was in the airplane. They're about to crash. He's deciding to face his death, and he jumped on the plane, and he thought he's dead, but he made out alive, and he came across this young, beautiful girl, and he was supposed to be dead, right? But love happened to him, and we go to the heaven perspective that he was supposed to be dying, not live. So there's a consequence going on that he had to face the judge, that he loves this woman. He'd rather live with the woman that he loves than dying instead. Because originally he was about to face the death. He was accepting that he's going to die. Then yet again he came across this young girl when he thought he would that he thought he died, but he fell in love with that young girl. And I love every second of this movie. It's just, there's never a dull moment. So many great editing techniques, and the cinematography looks beautiful. The colorful Technicolors just looks beautiful, vibrant, and just so beautiful to look at. That's all I can say. Every frame is like a painting. That's what I'm trying to say. And I love the two perspectives. One from Earth, which is all color. One from Heaven, which is all in black and white. And I love that idea. I really do. And this is my very first time watching Powell and Pressburger. Just like I said, they did a phenomenal job fleshing out the main character journey he gone through. Like he fell in love with this girl, and just to see him deciding this confusion that he goes on, and I love it. I love that journey so much, and I really do love this one. Just had a blast watching this one. I love the ending as well, the editing, and it's just, I'm a sucker for good editing techniques. They use that a lot in this movie, and just cinematography is wonderful. Just like I said, so much fun, and a very unique romantic story that I've never seen before. Usually, I'm not a fan of romantic film. That's my least favorite genre, but they did something really different and unique, and they brought something new to the table in their romantic genre itself. And I love that. Eraserhead, directed by David Lynch. This is my second David Lynch film I ever saw. First one, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the list. Man, what is this film? What is it? This film left me thinking after I finished this movie. This film has been my radar for a long time. Since in my film school, it has been my radar for a long time. Since my beginning days of collecting Criterion. Before film school, in my early high school days, this film, had been my radar for a long time. And I've seen some random clips. It never really my cup of tea. I heard of director David Lynch before, and I never seen any of his filmography, including Twin Peaks. Never seen any of his filmography. But one day I want to get into his mind, and I saw another film. That was my third time David Lynch film I ever saw, but this was my second time, and I decided, you know what? After watching that film, I want to get into Eraserhead. Go in with a fresh mind, and I don't know what to make of this movie after watching this movie. Did I love it? Did I not like it? Did I not like it? It's all mixed emotions going on with this movie. I was shook. I love the cinematography. I love the tone, the atmosphere, the weirdness going on. It's like everything feels like a dream. And I love the performance from the main character and the craziness, the weirdness that goes on. And the more I think about this movie, the more I like the movie. I love the fact that David Lynch doesn't hold on. He goes full on, go to his mind and expand that. And it is crazy, it is weird, it is different, it is unique. Definitely unique. And it feels like after watching this movie, I was speechless. I was lost in words. I don't know what to make of this movie. And I think that's a good reason, because it left me thinking more and more. And I really want to check out the documentary, the 2001 documentary about the Lynch of the making of the film. I really want to check that out. Just to learn more of this movie so much. And did I love it? Did I like it? Did I hate it? I don't know. I'm glad I watched it. That's one of the main reasons I decided to put this in my top 10, because it was so unique. It's so different, and I love it. I love about that, because this is a very unique. It's on its own, and I don't know. It's like, now I can understand why people love this movie and consider it a masterpiece, and I get that. I really get that. I love the cinematography. I love the character journey it goes on. I love the story, how different it is and unique. And it's like all feel like a Picasso painting, or you're in a Salvador Dali painting. I don't know, like you're in that kind of realm, that surrealism sense of it. Eraserhead, what a film. I'm glad I watched this movie for the very first time, and just dive into more of David Lynch's mind. Bicycle Thief, directed by Vittorio De Sica. This is my very first Vittorio De Sica film that I ever saw, and the main reason I saw this movie for the very first time in the month of July, I believe, July or June, somewhere around that month in the year 2020, where one of my film professors assigned us to watch this movie and write an essay about the neo-realism era going on, and okay, we gotta watch this movie. I gotta watch this movie because it's part of the assignment, and I knew this film was released on Criterion, so there's this website called Canopy that's part of my school program in the library section online, and I watched it for the very first time, and I love it. I saw this movie twice in the same year, and that's how rare it is for Criterion for me. The only film I watched the most in Criterion is Dreams, because I've seen it 4 times. I've only seen it twice in the Criterion release, and I love it. The only reason I love it because you feel for the main character that he just got a job, and he got this bicycle that's part of his job, but it's suggested by the title, Bicycle Thieves. He lost his bike. His bike was stolen, and the expression he gives, like, oh, what am I gonna do? I have family and kid to take care of. I cannot lose my job already. Like, that's the kind of journey that we see for him. And I did not expect the ending. The ending was like my heart was racing. Just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? And just fell for them. And then this is a neo-realism masterpiece. And I had fun writing the essay about this movie. Oh my god, I received a good grade. That was awesome. That's a bonus point. But after watching it twice on the Canopy website, I had to buy it on Criterion. I have to. I got this during the flash show. And I just happy to own this film, and I cannot wait to watch the extras in this release. And beautiful film. Wow, what a film. What I'm trying to say. The Elephant Man. This is my very first David Lynch film, and I loved it. Oh my god, this film blew me away. Even further, it blew my expectation going and watching this movie. I wasn't very excited to watch this one. I said, let's watch this one. I want this movie to be my very first David Lynch film I ever saw, and it is, and I love it. The main reason I love this movie is that you just feel sad for the character. The main character played John Hurt, rest in peace. He gave one of the best performances of his career. He played this character called a nickname called the Elephant Man. He had this weird deformed body parts that you just feel sorry for him, and the journey he goes through, that he's been laughed at, he's been scared by, and he never became friends. He's alone. And then he came across with Anthony Hopkins' character, who was a doctor who's really want to examine his deformed body, and they became a sort of a friendship that they had, that they accept to one another, that Anthony Hopkins' character trying to help him. And wow, what a film, what a beautiful film. There's a lot of moments in this movie that tear me up. It really does. It impacted me in a good way, that you feel sad for the character, yet you rooting for the character to grow to be a wonderful human being. He is a wonderful human being who is likable, who is very kind and respected, and he befriends a lot of people like Anthony Hopkins and his wife in the movie. It's just a beautiful directed film, beautiful cinematography. I love the fact it's all black and white, even though he didn't have to do that, but I think it's a good choice that the film had to be black and white. It is, perfect for the tone and the atmosphere that this movie is, and that, wow, what a film. What I'm trying to say is just great performance by John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins. Just gives a phenomenal chemistry here and there, and the practical makeup effect is brilliant on John Hurt character. I believe it's Frederick. No, that's not his name. It's John Merrick. John Merrick, the main character. Wow, what a wonderful practical effects. Very, very fantasy-like, but it fits the tone of the movie. It fits the vibe and the story for that. And it's a beautiful film. nonetheless. And this film given a beautiful friendship that I just love. I want to see more of that. And the ending let me feel satisfied, yet teary in my eye. Just, it's a beautiful film. I would say that it's a beautiful, beautiful film about friendship and accepting who they are for no matter what they look or what disability that they have. I mean, just The Elephant Man is a masterpiece. I'm so glad this was my first David Lynch film that I've seen. Notorious, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and oh my god, this movie's awesome. I just love the characters. Claude Rains give one of I don't know. He made so many great films that he's been on that Mr. Smith Go to Washington. I know I'm blanking others. I really want to see Here Comes to Jordan. But he gave one more chilling, exciting performance from him in an Alfred Hitchcock film, nonetheless. Great suspense, very intense stuff. So many great characters, especially what's her name? I know I'm blanking. Ingrid Bergman. I don't know why I'm blanking her name, but she did a phenomenal job. Basically, what we see from her character journey, that she has a job that she's been assigned to, like a spy job that she need to attend to do, and that she need to pretend that she had to be another person, and that she needs to stop this, not stop, like spy, and I love it. Every second of this movie just get me in and get me invested. It's very exciting, very fast paced, and Cary Grant gave it a great performance as well. But Claude Rains in this movie is just so much fun to watch, especially with his performance. He had a different sense of mannerism in him that's just so cool to see. I don't know. I'm not going much into it. I love this movie. I really do. But nothing beats this particular film directed by Sidney Lumet. This film let me exciting, let me feel intense, let me feel very sweaty in a way that you just want to know what's going to happen next. And that film is Fail Safe. That, of course, directed by Sidney Lumet, who did 12 Angry Men, one of his masterpiece. I love that film. That's another film I rewatched the most as well. Next to Dreams and Bicycle Thief and 12 Angry Men. This film, wow. Wow. That's all I can say. I mean, you got Henry Fonda as the President of the United States. So, I'm not going to go into the plot. I'm only going to go to my thoughts on this movie. I love this movie. There I said it. It's so intense, so exciting to watch. You just want to know what's going to happen next. And after that, it's just really exciting and intense. Especially in the last act of the film. You're just going to want to know what's going to happen next. You're just there watching it. It's just, you engage to the story, engage to the screen, and just glued to the screen. Beautiful directed film. Beautiful to look at. It's just an event film. It's just so intense. I'm so glad I picked this up because I know particular reason because this is Sidney Lumet who did 12 Angry Men, and I want to see more of his filmography. Last month in December, by the way, I'm pre-recording this. In the month of December, I watched Network for the very first time, and I'm planning to watch Dark Day Afternoon really soon in the future. Fail Safe is probably my second favorite Sidney Lumet film. Number one being 12 Angry Men. I love this one. Oh my god, this film gave me the sense of anxiety. I really want to know what's going to happen next. And the ending let me speechless. Especially the editing. The editing is spot on. The editing is so crucial for this movie. Very important part of the film. That is his own character that gives you a very sense of intensity. It goes on. It went 11 and beyond. That's what I'm trying to say. And the ending just let me speechless and just still glued to the screen during the credits. And just, I need to breathe. And I exhale. Whoa. What did I just watch? That kind of feel. And there's so many great dialogue, so many great character moments here and there. Just engaged by this. I was engaged. That's what I'm trying to say. I cannot wait to watch this movie in the near future. Just wow, I love this movie. My number one go to the Buster Keaton film, The Cameraman. When this was announced that by Criterion that Criterion going to release a Buster Keaton film on Criterion for the very first time, I was happy. I'm a huge silent film fan. Yeah, you have no idea. I was a very dedicated show for silent films. That is include Criterion releases, and I really want Criterion to continue releasing more, especially with Buster Keaton, because I want the general to be part of the Criterion release. That's just me. That's just me being as a silent film fan. I love this movie. Oh my god. This the Cameraman never released on Blu in the US. So this is their Blu-ray debut and it looks beautiful in Blu-ray. This is a 4K digital restoration and it looks gorgeous. So I had to watch this immediately when I got this Blu-ray and during my Criterion 50% off sale in July. I watched it immediately in that night. I was floored by this movie. I love the character that Buster Keaton brings, that he came across this young, beautiful girl who had a crush on, and he wanted to prove that he is worthy to date with her. But she has a boyfriend who works in this news corporation, that the camera people basically, and he decided that's what the title called, The Cameraman, and he decided to join the job so he can impress her. Then he had to buy this camera, a very cheap used camera, very not new camera. And the journey he goes through, everything that happened to him, bad things happened to him. And the slapstick, the gags, it's so much fun to watch. It has so much heart, so much soul, and I just love this movie so much. This is probably my third or second favorite Buster Keaton film that he has done. I love The General. The General is my number one, and his second place goes Steamboat Bill Jr. And I love all of his films that he has done. The Cameraman is the top tier for sure. I just love it. It's so much fun. It's lighthearted. It's easy to watch as well as fast paced. It's entertaining. Especially the third act of the film, the last part, the 30 minutes of the film, is so much fun to watch. It's so chaotic. It's just you see what Buster Keaton goes through, and just he befriends with this monkey, and it's just so much fun to watch. And everything that happened to him, bad things always happen to him. That's when I rephrased that again. And the ending, oh my god, I didn't expect the ending to go that way. I thought, oh, it's gonna go on a sad note, but something came out. It's a twist basically, and I did not expect to go that route. And I'm happy to go that route because that ending let me feel satisfied, and I love it every second of this movie. This movie includes another film by Parties Buster Keaton that is Spite Marriage, and I heard it's not the greatest. And sadly, The Cameraman was the very last film that was a full creative freedom for Buster Keaton before he signed on with MGM, and his career went downhill after that in the 30s and the 40s, and the alcohol consumed him, and just I'm so sad about Buster Keaton because I watched the documentary as well, The Great Buster: A Celebration, which is a wonderful documentary. I highly recommend. Phenomenal film. I love this one. This is the main reason why that film, The Cameraman, deserved to be my number one spot, because I was like, yep, my number one for sure. And I'm so glad I saw this movie for the very first time. A new Buster Keaton film in my brain. I mean, yes, I'm missing Go West, College, The Saphead, and 3 Ages. I'm missing a few of his film. And also Spite Marriage. I'm missing 5 films from him in the silent era before he went, downhill. And then I will do a ranking in the near future, hopefully. But I love this one. Criterion, please release more Buster Keaton films like The General or Simple Bill Jr. I don't know. Do it. There you go. This is my top 10 Criterion first time watches. I love every other film that I mentioned, especially The Cameraman and Bell Save and Notorious. The top 5 are excellent. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 for sure. Especially The Cameraman and Bell Save. I love the film, and I highly recommend any of you who have not seen any of the films I mentioned. I highly recommend, because they're wonderful films, and you want to expand more of the film that are very obscure that you have not seen. That these are the films that I highly recommend. It's like phenomenal stack of films that I mentioned in the list. There you have it, guys. This is my top 10 Criterion first-time watches. My favorite Criterion first-time watches. 2020 has been a good year of watching films for the very first time, and I'm glad the pandemic, the quarantine whole online thing that's going on with my school, that everything had to be online. That I just stayed home, watched films for the very first time, especially Criterion, because I want to watch more Criterion that I own that's still sealed, that I never seen, and I hope in 2021 that continue to do that. Films that I never seen, that I heard of, that I always want to see, and I want to watch it for the very first time. Anyways, that is it for episode 3 of the Criterion Corner series. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, follow me on Letterboxd down below for films that I watch, what I watch, dialogue and whatever, what have you. And yeah, have a good day. Take care.